We had 5 sales this weekend, which isn't the best sales for a weekend. Out of the 15 that I listed this week, only 5 sold, so that's not that great. But we had a lot of things going against us. It's the last week of the month, meaning that rent is coming due in the next couple of days, so people are getting that cash ready. Bills are coming due. There's a lot of monetary things that are going up against us, so that is why you may be experiencing some slow sales like I did. If you had great sales this weekend, let me know. Drop it in the comments to keep that motivation going for people that didn't have that great sales this weekend. So yeah, we had five sales. That's $71 in sales. Again, not the best sales, but I'm calling this the get it out the door weekend because we have a lot of things that sold that I just wanted to get out of my store. They've been sitting in there for a little too long and I just wanted to get them out, so I'm glad that they did. So these are a little bit more slow sellers, but if you can pick them up for cheap, you can make a lot of money, because I think I made a mistake on one of these where I could have priced it lower and it would have sold much faster. So we're going to be talking about all of that. We had 3 on Poshmark, 2 on eBay, and 0 on Mercari. I don't know what's going on, but Poshmark and Mercari have been beating out eBay this week, and that is why it's really important to diversify. Else I would have only had 2 on eBay. I can't believe Poshmark beat eBay. That's crazy. One of the things I did talk about is how Poshmark and Mercari have now upped their Google AdSense, whereas eBay dropped it down. So that's another reason why it's super important to be cross-listing, because a lot of our buyers do come from searching on Google that they're looking for something, and our Mercari or Poshmark or eBay listing may pop up. Now, I would say that eBay is king. That's why it's much easier to sell things on eBay. They've spent many, many years and decades building that platform, so they can drop out their Google AdSense and it not hurt them as much, whereas Poshmark and Mercari have now upped it, so we got to take advantage of that and cross-list now more than ever. Let's start with the first sale. These ASICS Solution Speed FF in a men's size 8. This is a bolo at the right price. Like I said, I think I put them a little too high, and that is why they took so long to sell, because these are hot right now. These are like pickleball tennis shoes. If you guys know, pickleball is really in. They just opened up a new facility close to me, so you know it's hot right now. So yeah, pickleball shoes, definitely look out for them. If you can find them for cheap, definitely pick them up. Of course, comp them out. And this was also a fun sale because I got a lot of comments saying that these shoes wouldn't sell without insoles. They do not have insoles, and I knew that picking them up, but they do. Shoes without insoles sell all the time because most people that buy pre-owned shoes change out the insoles anyways, so they still sell. You just gotta price them right, pick them up right, don't buy things too expensive. I picked these up maybe a little too high. I got them at the thrift store for $13.59. So that gave me a profit of $23.18 because these sold for $39.47 after the auto markdown that I started. I put everything on my store 10% off, and I do that at the start of every quarter so that things are always moving out the door. And these sales are the perfect example of that because, again, all of these are ones that I wanted out the door, except for one. Actually, this one sold pretty fast, so we're going to be talking about that one too, now that I'm looking at it. Paid $13.59, sold in 8 months, and it sold for $39.47, leaving me with a $23.18 profit after fees and taking out the stuff for taxes. This second sale came from Poshmark, and it's this wool hand-painted worsted weight yarn. It's 100% wool. It sold for $32, and it sold in a month, so this is my fastest sell out of these. I love to pick up yarn. If you guys have seen my past videos, you know I love to pick up yarn, especially for free, as I've been picking up all this yarn that you've been seeing selling. This is another one of them. I got this in a big bag of yarn back in August, and I listed it a month ago. I usually like to list things I actually spend money on first before the free stuff, and this is also a perfect time to list it since this is the time when people are like knitting, crocheting, and all that good stuff. So I would always highly recommend picking up yarn, especially the weird fabrics like wool, alpaca, mohair, all that weird stuff does really well. Camel hair, you'd be surprised. Profit on those after fees is $19.20. Up are these Stuart Weitzman. I love selling Stuart Weitzman. It's my favorite women's shoe brand to sell. I learned it last year and it definitely paid off. These Stuart Weitzman Spain block heel pumps sold for $30. I paid $1.87 after a full day of yard selling, And yeah, this is one of my favorite women's shoe brands to sell. I love to pick them up cheap. And I got this whole ladies collection of Stuart Weitzman that day of yard selling, and they've been selling between $60 to $30 depending on the model. So it's not bad if you can pick them up cheap. And the profit after fees on this one is $18. These sold on Poshmark. The next sale is this Trump Castle poker chip. I got it in a lot from a Whatnot show. It sold for an offer of $12. It's easy ship, easy money, and it sold in 9 months for a profit of $6.45. The last sale is the Fisher Price Little People 2-pack. I got this from Retail Arbitrage during TJ Maxx's Yellow Tag clearance event, and it was part of my bad retail arbitrage that I tried to do. I tried to dabble in retail arbitrage. Sometimes it hits and sometimes it misses for me. This is definitely one of the misses. I picked it up for $3. I picked up a whole bunch of these for $3. This is the second one barely selling, and I wouldn't do this again. Don't give in to the Yellow Tag clearance event. It wasn't my best pickup because I wasn't finding the best things, so I just picked up what kind of was working with sell-through rates, and it just didn't work. So yeah, definitely if you don't find something excellent at doing retail arbitrage, I would say just move on to the next place, because it's not worth the profits if you don't do this right. Because this sold for $9. It took like 6 or 7 months to sell, and because I didn't write it down, and the cost of goods was $3, so the profit after fees and everything was $1.90. Again, I'm just glad it's out the door. So these 5 sales brought us in $71, not too bad, but there are those, yeah, I'm calling this the get it out the door weekend because of these things that I just were not the best buys. I would say the ASICS were good, decent buys. I just should have priced them lower. I was trying to get the most amount of money. That's when I was still doing things I was buying things a little too high. So yeah, these 5 sales brought in decent money. We're still going strong with the challenge. It's day 6 now of the challenge, which isn't bad. And I forgot to write down the total deductions. I need to be better at that. But I think we're still in like the 700s, something like that. So these $71 in sales after fees will be deducted, and that is what's still owed. I haven't added anything new to the vacation. Like I said, I'm thinking of buying plane tickets next, and then we'll see. But I think I might be able to knock this down before we have to leave, which isn't bad. We have a couple months to go. I think I'll be able to make it. I'm excited. We'll see, and I'll let you guys know. So until tomorrow, love you guys.